Alright, we're going to do this Unit 11 test review. We are getting closer to the end of the school year, and we are getting closer to being done with these things, and you can move on and have it to help yourself grow as a enthusiastic academic individual. Anyways, let's look at number 1. Look, on number 1, all you got to do is make sure you're reading carefully. And you see there it says 12 students about to attend a swimming camp for a week. They have brought 148 snacks. You see those two numbers, and you just need to know. Then the question says, what is the ratio of package of snacks to swimmers? Okay, so again, you got to make sure you realize the 148 is the snacks, 12 is the swimmers, and that snacks to swimmers means I want it in that order. So I need the snacks first, 148 to the 12 swimmers, and you can put it as 148 to 12, 148 over 12. You could simplify it if you wanted to, 37 over 3. Any of those would be acceptable, but it has to be in the correct order. Make sure you read that type of question carefully. Alright, number 2 says, at a local animal shelter, the ratio of cats to dogs is usually 2 to 5. If there are currently 35 dogs at the shelter, about how many cats are there likely to be? Okay, so here we say 2 to 5, 2 over 5, like that. Where most of y'all got this wrong was, okay, so this is cats and this is dogs, right? So that means 2 is cats and 5 is dogs, and you want corresponding. So it says there are currently 35 dogs. You want the 35 corresponding at the same position as the 5. So that way you can cross multiply, and you would say 5x equals 70, and then you can divide by 5 to get x equals 14. So there should be about 14 cats. Meow. Whatever. Alright, number 3, because all those are always so hard, those type of problems where I have to cross multiply and I have got to do a lot of extra work. Okay, whoops, didn't mean to do that way. Let's try that again. Okay, we're about to do that. Okay, so keep in mind you're saying 5 times 3x minus 4 and 3x plus 9 times 4. Okay, so you're saying 5 times 3x is 15x, 5 times a negative 4 is negative 20, and then 4 times 3x is 12x, 4 times 9 is 36. Variables to the left, numbers to the right. That would change that to a minus 12x and a plus 20 because they change signs. Then you can divide and you get x equals 56 over 3 or 18.67. Easy peasy, right? Easy peasy, right? Okay. Problem like number 4. Okay, so problem like number 11, they're talking about a ratio, and they give you 3 numbers that are in ratio. Keep in mind you should add these 3 numbers. And if it says perimeter, obviously like, okay, 7 plus 11 plus 12, that's 18, that's 30. You're going to put 30x. Okay, you're going to set that equal. Either you set it equal to the perimeter, whatever that perimeter may be, and that would be a 4th number I would have to give you. Or if the word is angles, you're going to set it equal to 180. Because when we have angles, we always equal to 180. In this case, we have angles. So you divide by 30. You get x equals 6. And you think you're done. But you're not. Don't forget, you've got to multiply that 6 times 7. But wait, there's more. Then you got to do 11 times 6. But wait, there's still more, and 12 times 6. So you get 7 times 6 is 42, you get 6 times 6 is 6, or 6 times 11 is 66, and 12 times 6 is 72. And all that should add up to 180, and those would be the 3 answers I would be looking for. This would only get you partial credit. Moving on. Alrighty. So keep in mind for problems like 5, 6, and 7, you're going to be proving similarity, either by saying all the angles are congruent, and then that show that the sides are proportional, and then or if it's a triangle, you got 3 possibilities: side, 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 and angle, angle. Keep in mind with these 2, you need to make sure on the sides that, again, those are proportional. So you have to do some dividing. Okie dokie. Now, if it's a yes, you got to also tell me, like, or everything kind of go from there. So, let's look at that. Whoa, it appeared out of nowhere. No, it didn't. I'm just kidding. Anyways, all right, look. So we can see here, like, all these opposite angles are congruent. So we can see here, angles are congruent. Okay? Then we got to look at the ratios. So does 4 out of, let's say, 10 give me the same thing as 6 out of 16. And when you do that, you would get that the 4 out of 10 is 2/5, but the 6 out of 16 is only 3/8. So since the sides here are not proportional, they're not the same, you didn't get the same answer, this one is just a straight up no. Okay, this one you can see, now this is a triangle, so that means we're either using side by side, side angle side, or angle. And to be honest, you've got quite a few things. All right, there's so many different ways I can say yes to this. Okay, first off, I can see here I've got 2 angles, so I can say yes to this based on angle. And that's how I would say angle. I could, wow, this one went all out. I could say side, or side, angle, side. If I do side, either way, once you say yes, you need to tell me like, okay, here, triangle ABC is similar to triangle XYZ. Okay? Now, what's the similarity ratio? Similarity ratio is you take any 2 corresponding sides and divide. So like if you said 20 divided by 15, you would get, say, 4/3. Or if you said 24 over 18, guess what? You would also get 4/3. If you flip-flop that for whatever reason, that's okay. I would still probably count that. So all that information has to be given once you say yes. You can't just say, it's yes, and that's it, I'm done. No. Okay, so here, number 7. This is another one of those yes or no's. And oh my gosh, you got to automatically say because these angles are different, it's not correct. First off, make sure. Okay, so like here, keep in mind, like these 2 correspond. So I might want to make sure those 2 angles are, say, congruent or not congruent. And if I can prove again, because if I can prove 2 angles congruent, I've got this. I've already got 90-degree angle, 90-degree angle. So if I can show those 2 are 42, then that'd be great. Well, again, 90 plus 58, because I decided to add those 2 first, and get that would give me 148. If I subtract that from 180, I get 32. So this one right here is 32 degrees, which that can be congruent. You'll also find out that this one is 48. So this one is also a no because it fails the angle. No angle. Alrighty, so let's look at number 8 and look at number 9 and see how I kind of flip-flop that. Okay, so on something like number 8 and number 9, a couple of ways we can do this. The main thing here is keep in mind, like if you see something like this, you need to make sure you have totals. The ones where it's like you can cut them up and set them separately, you would have to see that these 2 lines right here are parallel. Okay, so if they're not if you don't have the parallel markers, no parallel markers, make sure you get totals, as in like the longest part of the side. So here, really what I have is like, in the small triangle, X and 9, and in the large triangle, I've got 18 and 15. I got the 15 by adding 9 and 6. I can cross multiply and get 15x is equal to 162, because 9 times 18 should be 162. And then when I divide 162 by 15, you get, say, 54 over 5. If you decide to give me the decimal answer, that would be, say, 10.8. So you can get that one to be 10.8. Again, be careful when you divide, because if you say press Control Enter, it is possible that it might double divide. All right, anyway, so that's number 8. Either of those 2 answers would have been acceptable. Okay, number 9 is pretty easy. You can say, all right, 4x plus 3 over 20 is equal to x plus 9 over 15. And then again, cross multiply. And here's another one of those variables to the left, numbers to the right. 15 times 4x, so you got to do this. That would be 60x plus 45 equals, and then this one would 20 times all of that. So that give me 20x plus 180. variables to the left, numbers to the right, minus 20x, which would give me 40x, and then minus 45, which would give me 135, and from there, you would say, okay, 135 divided by 40, trying to make sure I did all that correct, 20 times x plus 9, and you would get, say, 27 over 8. Again, I would take the 27 over 8, or you could tell me that's approximately equal to 3.375. I'm not going to tell you to go back and put it in. I just want to find x and we'll be fine. All right. Number 10. Number 10 is super easy. Okay. So, again, it says 2 to 3, and then it says there's a perimeter of 72. Perimeter 72. Okay, so that's like saying 2 to 3, and then you just need to know where the 72 is going. And it says here it's a small one, so I would do this. Notice small to small. And then that way I can say this is x, cross multiply, I got 2x is equal to 6, 216, and then you divide by 2 and you get x is 108. I guess feet if you want to put feet. Hey, easy peasy, right? Alright, so let's look at number 11. Okay, so how is number 11 different than number, say, 8? Notice here we've got these parallel markers. When you've got those little markers, then you can just put these numbers here, 24, 27, 18, find this one. Okay, and you can go, alright, 24 over 27 is equal to, say, x over 18, and you don't have to worry about, say, adding these up or adding these up and working from that. You can just do it like this. Then you can cross multiply and you say 27x is equal to 18 times 24. So 18 times 24 would give you 432. And then you can divide by 27 to get x is equal to whatever it's equal to. Let's see here, divided by 27, I get 16, and there you go. Okay, now, I messed up on number 12. I will have it fixed by tomorrow for the test. But this should say, instead of saying find EB, it should say like EB is equal to 27, find x. Find x. Okay. Alright, so I'm saying here, here's x plus 3. Here's an 18. Here's a 27. Here's a 4x plus 3. How do I set that up? I can say x plus 3 over 18 is equal to 4x plus 3 over 27. I cross multiply. I get 27x plus 51 is equal to 72x plus, sorry, not 51, 81. Why do I keep thinking that's 51? I have been way off today. 81 plus 54. Okay, variables to the left, numbers to the right. So when you do that, you end up with, say, negative 45x is equal to negative 27. And then when you divide, you end up with, say, 3/5, and you are done. Alright? Easy peasy, right? I know. Alright, the second part here, you're trying to decide. And again, how do I know if it's parallel? It's parallel if cross multiply equals. That's something you can add to your note sheet if you need it. Okay, in other words, if I say here 8 and 10, notice that I'm saying KM is 8, ML is 10. Make sure you're paying attention to how these numbers are put. 12 and 14. If 8 over 10 is equal to 12 over 14, in other words, if I cross multiply, 14 times 8, 112, 10 times 12 is 120. If those two numbers had equaled, then this would have been yes, they are parallel. Instead, this one is a no, they are not parallel. Same thing happens here. I would have 24 over 30 equals 18 over 21. And I believe this one gives you 504, while this one gives you 540. Okay, so this one is also a no. Now, mid-segments, again, keep in mind on mid-segments, I have no idea what happened there. Short one, from short to long is times 2. From long to short is divide by 2. So here I would go ahead and say, okay, I'm going from long to short. I need to divide by 2. You divide 22 by 2 and you get 11. So that one's easy peasy, right? All right. So next one, number 16. Number 16, 17, and 18. All you got to do is set up cross multiplies. Just make sure you set them up correctly. So that way all you got to do is once you've got them lined up, you cross multiply, then you can divide. Nothing super difficult there. Nothing that should be overly hard. Actually 16, 17, 18, and 19 all do the same thing, same steps. So y'all should be able to do that fairly easy. You can see here how I am setting those up. Nothing too particular. Everything's set up to be the same. So you just kind of make sure you cross multiply and divide correctly, and you should be fine. So you're seeing how these steps go through. You can see here, make sure on like number 18 you put the numbers in where they belong. So read carefully, cross multiply and divide. You'll get a decimal answer. That's okay. And then finally on number 19, again, also cross multiply, then you can divide. So in this case, I would have 7x is equal to 480, then you can divide, and you get x is equal to like 68.57. Anyways, I will stop there. That is it for today. Be ready for the test. Hopefully you have watched this. Hopefully it has helped you. Hopefully it has helped you reach a new term of enlightenment. Thank you so much for your time. Y'all take care. Have a good day.